Tuning in to the online broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing after shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Marie Mazzocchi, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Our music is back this week, yay!
We got music this time. It's a good Monday, everyone.
If you are tuning in to AfterBuzzTV.com, you've come to the right place. This is the Amazing Race After Show for Season 27, Episode 2. Get in there and think like a dog. I'm your host, James Wallington, and with me across the table is...
What's up, guys? I'm Jessica Carroll, and these headphones are really ruined my vibe today. I'm not really digging them.
I have to agree. I'm Marie, and I would love to just not have the headphones on.
They're messing up
with our hair. It's not good.
Hey, at least we're all coordinating. We look great today in the studio.
This was unplanned. Black and white day today.
And here we are. An exciting episode. Number 2 already.
And it's the first Monday of October.
It is.
Can
Happy
you guys
October.
believe it's October?
I'm dressed for fall. You're dressed for like a summer picnic.
I'm dressed for Halloween, okay?
Well, we already got a lot of buzz going on right now in the live chat on YouTube.com. Keep joining in on the conversation, everyone. We love it. Everyone's loving this episode already. What were your guys' initial thoughts on episode 2?
I want to dance sideways. That is like my...
Yeah, I thought that was cool.
So cool. But hey, I can't complain because 2 of my teams in the fantasy team got first and second. So who's winning?
I know, she's killing it.
Duh.
What about you, Marie?
I thought my favorite thing was probably the sideways dancing. But what I hated was if I had picked the cardboard and they were like going through the trash, it was probably so smelly and disgusting. Like, I would not have been okay with that.
Yeah. No.
I would have switched in like 3 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm not climbing in a dumpster.
No. Sorry about it.
I loved this episode as well. I mean, it was just exciting to watch, especially towards the end when there was like so many teams that could have gotten last, and you're just like, it could have been anybody.
Yeah.
So it just made things a lot more exciting.
And it's always interesting too, and I know we're going to dive into this later, but when all the teams choose one detour and then one team chooses the other, it's like because of editing, you never really know if they're way in advance or way in the back or where they are. So it's kind of interesting to see where they came out at the end.
Before we recap episode 2, I want to just give a big shout out to one of our viewers, Paula Mangarelli. It was her birthday the other day, so happy belated
Happy belated birthday.
All right, let's get into this episode and think like a dog, shall we? So the teams are at their pit stop in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, and I loved how this episode started off because like in earlier seasons, what we would see are the teams and their downtime at pit stops, which is something I think the show kind of lacks. I would like to see the relationships form at the pit stops. We see Justin and Diana approach some of the teams, and they mentioned that on the first leg they were on that plane all by themselves, so they kind of missed the getting to know yous with the other teams. So I thought that was a good thing.
That's what I picked up on too, because during our season we weren't allowed to speak to the other teams. You got to the pit stop, you were like put away, and then you started and you still didn't get to see them before. So everyone, there was no communication, before or after the pit stops. So when I saw this and they were all kind of hanging out on the beach talking to each other, I was like, hey, what's that?
I think it's something the show needs more of because as we see on a lot of the seasons, there are some relationships and alliances that do form on the race that it would be nice to see how those kind of develop at pit stops if there's lengthy conversations about strategies going into the next leg. So it was just really, really refreshing and bringing us back to the original seasons to see a little bit of a downtime at the pit stop.
Exactly.
The route info at the start of this leg said that they were told to fly to Buenos Aires, the capital of Argentina. Upon arrival, they had to locate the church where Pope Francis was baptized. It's funny how there was a lot of news this past week about Pope Francis, and then voila.
Yeah, he was right here in LA, or in the States,
in the United States, leaving them to figure out that this refers to the Basilica Maria Auxiliadora y San Carlos.
Good try. That was good.
All right. So what I loved is a lot of the teams, when they got to the airport, started utilizing other people's technology, whether it was a cell phone, like we saw Adam and Alex using, or a laptop, which we saw Justin, Diana, and James, Earl, and Denise using, just to figure out what the name of this church was before even getting to Argentina.
Right.
We see Josh and Tanner talking about the Express Pass and how it gives them a lot of power in the race because the other teams are going to help them out, at least for the first 5 legs, just so they can have an opportunity to get their hands on the Express Pass. So they're going to use it to their favor. Do you think we'll see some more down the line that actually happening?
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, I know all about dangling the Express Pass. Like, you literally, you'd be stupid not to put it out there and just to let everybody know, hey, we're going to give this to somebody, work for it.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know if editing is going to make it seem worse or not as bad as it is, but they're definitely going to do it.
I think they're probably going to give it to Justin and Diana.
Yeah, right.
If that happens, I'll
Jokes.
stop watching.
So funny. We also learn a little bit more or get a little taste of James, Earl, and Denise's relationship some more. James Earl talked about how their family was really close prior to him coming out, but the moment he came out, and it wasn't just an ideal situation, so they kind of all grew apart, and that this is the most time that him and his mom have spent together consecutively in 10 years. That's insane to me.
That is crazy.
It's a long time.
Because I know you're very close with your mom.
I was just talking to her.
Yeah,
over
I'm
here.
very close with my mom. So I really hope that this race brings them together. And it will. I mean, already it's, doing wonders for them.
I think it's going to drive them crazy before it brings them together. Like, I couldn't imagine racing with my mom. I could spend a lot of time with her, but it's just different. I feel like it's different racing with a parent. So I think they're going to go nuts first, and then they'll be okay.
Yeah.
Got to get over those hurdles, and
Right.
then it'll bring them together closer than ever.
Yes. And we also see at the airport that they have some agreements already formed.
Oh, yeah. I was so confused by this whole
Everyone was in
exchange.
alliance with everyone.
Yeah.
Like, what?
And Justin just comes in because he's the little eavesdropper and nosy one. It's like, what are you guys talking about? I thought we had an agreement. We were going to give out the address.
Yeah.
So-
Well, I thought it was interesting because the little clip that we did see of the conversation between Justin and Diana, James, Earl, and Denise was them looking up the church, and then Justin goes, all right, we won't tell anyone else. High five. And they high five. But I'm like, I never heard a verbal yes from Team Alabama
Right.
Yeah.
for them to break their agreement with you. I think that was just an agreement you made up in your mind, but nobody really agreed
Yeah, I don't
to
think there was
stick
an
to that
official
plan.
agreement because he didn't say anything. He didn't
No.
agree to anything, and then he turned around and told everyone.
Yeah.
For everyone in the live chat, what did you guys think of this agreement, this little, fiasco in the airport before we even get to Argentina? Because there was a lot happening there with this. There's like 5 teams that kind of got caught up in this little drama.
Yeah. And then we already see the tension between Justin and the Texans. They're like, we need to beat them. Like,
That's when the tension started to rise. And kind of set the
yes.
tone for the rest of the episode.
yes.
Once the teams landed in Argentina, which of course all the teams were on the same plane, which we like to call an equalizer leg,
Yep.
all the teams started making their way to the church where they had to pick a number in the order in which they arrived. Then the following morning, the teams were allowed to go inside the church one at a time based on the order to find the altar room where the priest would give them their next clue. I was obsessed with all the different shots we saw of the basilica.
It was
It
so
was
amazing.
stunning. And I went to Ecuador this past summer, and there was a lot of basilicas within Quito, and I was just amazed by not only the architecture, but just how all the little details that go
Yeah.
into, whether it's the gold or the mosaic art pieces. It was just stunning. So I was even surprised that they were allowed to film in there in the first place, because a lot of these places are sacred and holy,
Right.
that I'm like, how do they get the rights to go in this church and film?
Well, I'm glad they did because we got the opportunity to check out this beautiful
100%,
church. It was
yes.
gorgeous.
Yeah, you have to be on your best behavior. I know before that they were probably like, no
Giving a
yelling,
pep talk.
no running,
Yeah,
no like
whispering.
do this. Yeah.
We already have some people in the chat talking about the agreement that happened in the airport. Steven Sosa says, I was confused and didn't really understand, to be honest. I felt like Justin is just trying to start drama. Interesting point there. Sunshaw Silla Hedgehog found it weird and confusing. And then Scarpen, Adam in the conversation, said the superfan in Justin is just playing a little too hard already, I think.
Agreed.
Which I think we can all agree with.
Yeah.
Well, I think when you first get there, the first leg happens, and then you get to your pit stop, and like you said, you kind of get to talk to the other teams, you get to know them, you establish relationships, then you go again. So on the second leg, everyone's kind of like so into, okay, this is really the start of the race, that you start making alliances with everyone. You talk to everyone you can talk to. You try to get a little bit of information from this person, maybe give someone information. Everyone's just really trying to like establish themselves and establish relationships with other teams. So I think it does get a little confusing because literally every team that you see, you're like making some kind of secret agreement with.
Right.
Yeah, a little too eager, a
Yeah.
little too
Yeah.
anxious.
Too much.
There's a
Yeah.
lot happening in the race, so yeah, I could see that absolutely being a thing. Once the teams get to the altars, they were given their next clue, which had the detour in it. The detour was a choice between Cartoneros or Fletero. And Cartoneros teams had to travel to Villa Crespo neighborhood, where they had to pick up a cart, collect cardboard from recycle bins, and transport it to a truck to be weighed. Once the cardboard reached a total weight of at least 100 kilograms, 220 pounds, the garbage worker would give them the next clue. However, there are only 8 carts available at this detour, so first come, first serve. And Fletero teams traveled to Plaza Dorrego and made their way to Gabriel del Campo Antique Shop to pick up a statue that was in pieces and then bring it to a truck. One team member had to sit in the front and give driver directions while the other held the statue in the back, then head to the gazebo at Plaza Intende Sabir. Once they arrive at the park, they must bring all the pieces together to reassemble them properly, and then the director would give them their next clue. What a mouthful.
Yes, seriously.
That's our detour. What detour would you ladies have done? Cartoneros or Fletero?
I would have definitely done the statue one. It just seems like a no-brainer for me. There's one thing, you know where to pick it up, you know what you have to do, you know where to deliver it. There's no chance that there's not going to be enough statues. There's no chance that you're running around to different dumpsters that are empty.
Right.
It kind of just seems like, in spite of maybe breaking the statue, not much could go wrong here. So I would have definitely went for the statue. What about you?
I would have definitely gone for the statue because picking up 200 and whatever pounds of cardboard does not sound fun. And the only thing that when I was thinking about it is, what if the statue was really heavy and I was with, 2 girls? That was like my only concern is,
But you could take it apart.
Yeah, you could take it apart.
That was, which I didn't even realize until they started taking it apart. I was like, oh, okay, you can take it apart. You're definitely not going to break it. This is so easy.
So easy.
Yeah.
But then the driving aspect, driving
True.
is always difficult. So, but I still would have chose the statue one for sure, hands down. I was actually really surprised that all the teams but one chose the cardboard one.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, because I think my mindset would have been, okay, Cartoneros, there's 8, especially if I was towards the back of the pack, I would have said, there's only 8 things.
Right.
More than likely, most teams are going to go there. So the odds of me showing up and actually getting a cart are slim to none. So why not go for the statue? At the same time, if there's all these teams running around a certain block radius, because it looked like the teams had a map of a certain perimeter that they had to get the cardboard from. If there's so many teams pulling from all these different recyclables or bins, what if there was a possibility to not get enough, and then you get like maybe 95, and you're like,
and then everything's empty and you're stuck.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I think there would have been more of an opportunity with the statue than the Cartoneros.
Right.
But it seemed like the Cartoneros, every team that did it had no problems except having to go back for more than one load.
Yeah. And actually, a lot of people went over 100 kilograms by like 20 or 30 pounds.
Yeah, they did. Well, I think they were shocked. They kind of didn't know what they had until they made their first trip.
Yeah.
And then some of them had 30 and they were like, oh my God. And those that had 70 were like, okay, we only need a couple more. But it was kind of smart because the area wasn't that big. So instead of lugging around something that's close to 200 pounds, to do it in like 3 trips and just run back and forth seemed kind of the smarter way to do it.
Right.
Exactly.
And I understand that the track stars were the last to get to the cardboard, and their philosophy was, you know what, we can outrun anyone, so let's go. They were the ones that actually got the last cart, or there wasn't a cart when they got there, and so they were smart to go to where you dropped off the cardboard and see if anyone
up.
to get one. But I understand where they were saying, they could outrun anyone with the cardboard. So
I got that. I totally understood that because I think in their minds, they were just looking at it like, okay, well, this one, someone's driving you around. This other one is physical. We know that we're the most physical team. Let's just try to get there and make up ground. So it was smart, but I mean, to be in the back of the pack and pick the detour that has a limited amount of supplies is like really risky.
Yeah.
It looks like everyone in our chat is pretty 50-50. It's an equal balance. I think it's a good detour when you have 50-50.
Yeah.
So it's like
it's funny that we're all doing 50-50, but the teams did not do 50-50.
No.
Yeah, that was surprising.
So surprising. But you know what else was really surprising is that we saw serious tension between the paparazzi team.
Oh, I know.
That's okay, because I was tweeting, you guys. Last week I was tweeting, Team Paparazzi, I like them, I'm surprised that I do. And Logan tweeted me and said, I'm sure that's going to change. And surprisingly enough, there's just so much bickering already in episode 2. And I'm like, you guys, keep it together, please.
Yeah, you know what? And watching it, I was kind of annoyed by them. And then it like hit me. Oh my God, this is what people thought about me and Tim in the beginning. I was like, I hate that team. She needs to shut up. They're so annoying. And then a light bulb went off and I was like, oh my God, we're the paparazzi. Like, I hate myself.
But do you find yourself to be able to put yourself in their shoes and understand
I totally get it. I totally get it.
through?
And I think that they're going to grow on us now.
That's so funny. I would like to see them do well as far as like getting their communication on the same level.
They're not going to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think so. But it'll be just entertaining.
It's going to be fun for us to watch. It's not going to happen.
But I mean, they might surprise us and do well.
Yeah.
And make it to the top 3.
I just like that she, even though, she gave in a little bit, she still held her own. She was like, no, I want to do the cardboard, and he wanted to do the statue. And guess who won? The girl.
So funny. Before I got to the studio today, I was on the phone with my mom, just doing our own little recap of last night's episode, Friday night's episode. And she said the one thing that stuck out to her the most this entire episode is when Justin took like maybe 30 seconds of the detour to go to a random shop man and take a sip out of their drink.
Yeah.
Ew.
And I was like, ooh, like I want to know, Justin, if you're watching, because I know you are, and you tweet us quite a bit. What was in that?
Please explain.
Because if it was water, you really put yourself at risk. Because I know when I've traveled to South America and Central America,
drink.
you just don't
Yeah,
drink
but what do you
water.
think? Like some random person had like a cup of Gatorade? Like regardless, it was probably water
You
or
need
coffee.
some electrolytes here. Have some Gatorade.
Yeah, no way. Whatever it was, that was just uncalled for.
He was probably offering a sip of beer.
That would be funny.
I just would never like take a random sip out of a stranger's cup in the middle of nowhere. Like you
No.
just never know.
You never. Now watch it catch up to him next episode, and he has to stop to use the bathroom like every 5
Totally,
minutes
he's
with
gonna
the
be
leg.
so sick.
No, don't say that. He's on my team. Justin.
We need him to get
Oh my
sick.
God, get sick.
No!
So yeah, this detour was really funny to watch because it seemed like everyone had their own strategies when it came to retrieving all these recyclables. There was one point when the cheerleaders were running and they were like, "Be careful, it's slippery,"
slippery.
and
Down.
they totally bit it. Poor Krista. I think it was Krista that fell, but oh gosh.
Wait, who knocked over the motorcycle?
That was Adam and Alex.
Oh my
And
gosh.
I was laughing so
I'm like, okay, if I just knocked over a motorcycle, I would not just like, oh, let's keep going.
I wonder what happened. I wonder if they just like left him a note and they were like, sorry. Like,
Running the
about it.
Amazing Race. Sorry about it.
I wonder if there's like a maybe preview clip or something, like a behind the scenes clip on YouTube somewhere of like the aftermath.
probably, yeah.
Because you know what happened on your season, I think, with Travis and Nicole, and she was riding that bike and like flew into a car, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's
She like lost control. Did anything happen after that?
I don't know, but I'm sure, well, because we weren't around for that. Like, we didn't see that. But like you said, there's always those bonus clips that are on
Yeah.
YouTube. So I'm sure if we searched around a little bit, like, they had to have asked them about that in their interview.
Because the editors made it seem like, oh, no big deal, motorcycle on the ground, let's just keep going.
Like,
Right.
They didn't even react. They were like, all right, keep going. Right now, just so everyone knows, I'm tweeting Justin because I need to get to the bottom of this. What was in
The cup.
cup? What was in it?
Justin, you better not get sick on me. I don't want any. I know you're green team, but I do not want green shit coming out of your ass.
Let me poll the viewers right now. What do you guys think was in the cup?
Yes.
All right, it's out there. So everyone who's watching right now, before we advance to the rest of this episode, I want to remind everyone to go to iTunes, subscribe to AfterBuzz TV, rate, comment, let us know what you guys like about our after show and what we can continue doing to be entertaining to all of you, because you guys are really interactive with us and we appreciate it every single week. We love to hear what your guys' feedback is. And don't forget, because I know there's 14 people watching right now. You already know what I'm going to say.
Thumbs up.
We already have 8. We already have 8 thumbs up, so that's huge. But there's 14 watching, so I
need
expect
14.
14 thumbs up by the end of this recap.
Let's do it.
Okay.
You got mine.
Well, shout out to Ruben Gomez because he liked it before, and he made a point in the chat right now that was like
Already thumbs up.
already thumbs up. So Ruben Gomez.
I'd do it, but my internet is on the fritz.
So
I'll get it later.
once the teams finished their detour, they got their next clue, which instructed them to travel to Calle Bartolome Mitre to search for the clue box with their next clue. Once they arrived there, they got the first roadblock of the season, which was Who Wants to Go Sideways? There's a lot of things that came to my mind when I heard Who Wants to Go Sideways. What did you guys think before the roadblock? Do you think you would have done it? Just based on that little... What would you and Tim have done?
Well, I'm going to give a little insider info when you open the clue and it tells you what it is, you can kind of cheat a little bit and look down and see the description of what it is. So even if they didn't know like that they were dancing by just Who Wants to Go Sideways, like I would always pretend to like read it for like 5 seconds longer and like slide the paper up to see what it was. So if they did that, they knew it was dancing. If they didn't do that,
I love this.
you just have to make sure that like, you know, the camera guy's not right over your shoulder seeing you cheat, because then, you know, you cheated. But everybody does it, okay? Like don't try to like take my placing back. Everybody did it.
It's like if you can see it, they obviously didn't do a good enough job
Right.
hiding it.
Right.
So you're not at fault for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know. First, I'm torn between the fact of like, okay, who would be better at it, or this is the first roadblock. Like I want to make sure I do it so he doesn't mess it up and send us home.
Yeah.
So because, you know, it's not like you're at the point where, oh, I've done 5 and he's done 4 or whatever. So I would just do it just to get it done with.
That kind of seemed to be Justin and Diana's mentality as well when they got to this roadblock. It was like, we kind of have a lead already. We already know this is not one of her strong suits, so why not just have her do it so she's done doing a roadblock.
Right.
What about you, Jess?
I probably would have done it, and then I would have been just as excited as Krista once I figured out that it was the dancing one, because I love dancing, and I would have been all about this. I actually want to try it now.
I would have... Oh. You guys.
Did he respond?
We got a response from Justin.
Oh, Justin.
All right.
You're the man. What did he say?
What do you guys think? Really quick. Final verdict. What do you guys think was in the cup?
I mean, it's got to be just water.
Okay.
I'm going to... Not water.
It was yerba mate tea. Very hot for on a cold, wet morning.
So the boiled water
boiled
killed
water.
germs.
All right.
I don't know.
Still risky.
Still real risky.
Still risky. Justin, hopefully it didn't cause any problems.
Hopefully it did.
No.
I'm asking now, was it offered to you or did you just go up and drink from it? I would have been excited to do the roadblock too. If I knew it was dancing, I would have been like, hell yeah, sign me up. I'm going to do this. But the sideways tango, I would have probably been a little overwhelmed with because like, it just seems weird. Like, I'm pretty coordinated on my feet when I'm walking normal, but when I have a harness and I'm walking on a wall...
Well, the whole sideways thing, I don't know if it was the track girls or the cheerleaders that brought up the fact that, like, it's all core. Like, if you don't have abs, you can't do it because you have to be able, it's like holding a plank. Like, you're sideways and you have to be comfortable with your whole body being sideways and still kind of moving. And you saw some of the unathletic teams kind of just like flopping all over the place. I actually felt bad because like she made that comment and then they cut right to one of the cousins like falling off the wall. Aww. And I was like, oh, stop. Like that was kind of mean, even for me. So, but that, I mean, whether you were a dancer or not, you know, if you have core strength, that was going to be easier for you.
A benefit for you, for sure.
Well, one person that really stuck out to really struggle was Tanner. He was really doubting his ability, and after 2 or 3 attempts, he was just like, oh my gosh, I can't do this.
And Josh was not helping, laughing his ass off. He's like, some guy just dipped him.
Yeah, but I feel like he couldn't do it because it had to have been harder for him to do it than like one of the girls that knows how to dance or even doesn't know how to dance, because you had to be the woman.
Yeah.
Like, no matter who you were with, they were leading. So he's not used to that. You know, you're a guy, you've never not been the leader. And then they put him with like another guy and this guy was like twirling him around. He had to kick his leg up and wrap it around his waist. He was probably so uncomfortable.
It was pretty funny to watch, I'm not going to lie.
It was great entertainment.
I wonder if they picked their instructor or if like they were just given one.
I'm sure they were just given. I doubt he would pick a male.
Exactly. So they wanted to make it more uncomfortable for him. They purposely gave him him.
Yeah.
So good. The other participants of this roadblock were Diana, Tanner, I just lost my notes, Logan, Cindy, James Earl, Krista, Jasmine, Jen, Alex, and Kelsey. I loved after the roadblock when James Earl and Denise were kind of celebrating and running to their taxi. Denise goes, I am so proud of you. I made you. You came out of my belly. And she just was owning the moment.
But did we see James dance?
He got on the first
that's what
try.
I was confused about who did it because I don't remember seeing it.
I didn't even see either one of them dance. And I was like, was I getting a snack or something? Like, did I miss
something?
something?
I thought they weren't at the roadblock yet. I was like, where are Denise and James Earl?
Right.
I don't remember seeing
All
either.
I saw was them coming out of it afterwards. And I was like, I must have missed something. Or they literally just didn't even have enough time. They didn't show it.
Yeah. Well, I do know that he got on the first try. So he must have some dancing skills up his sleeve.
You know what? I do remember seeing it now.
Are you sure?
Yes.
Are you having a flashback moment?
I just had a flashback moment. Yeah, I do remember seeing it, but it was really quick.
Yeah, it was really
quick. Because he did get on
quick.
the first attempt.
Yeah.
That's right. Sorry, it finally came to me. Coming to Jesus moment.
Wait, and also, Justin cried a little while Kelsey was dancing. I just want to make a note that there was more crying.
Oh, gosh.
Just a little
When
bit.
Kelsey was dancing?
Yeah.
Or
No,
Diana?
and Diana.
Diana, I'm sorry, Diana.
Oh, I was like, what? Why would he...
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
He was just so proud of her.
Yeah. I just wanted to mention it because, we are keeping track of how much he cries.
Well, of course, when he
Cries,
got
you should take a shot.
overexcited about Diana completing the roadblock, it obviously really rubbed Josh and Tanner the wrong way again.
Yeah.
This little feud between Team Texas and the Green Team seems to be like
The Green Team
it's
started
be a
it.
build up on this
Intense.
season.
Yep.
You really think the Green Team
They started it. And did we see anything else? Okay, the first leg of the race when they were out in the water and they were pedaling, I remember Justin went by them and was like, oh, I'd help you guys, but you're beefcakes or something like that. And that made me mad because they're good looking, so you're just gonna make a mean comment about them. Like, I just feel like that was stupid.
And also, the Texans did say that they don't want to be the bullies. They actually want to help other people, and they want to be like the good ones. So they wouldn't have that intention to begin with.
Right, exactly. And I think if it was the other way around, if they had gone by a team and been like, we're not going to help you because you guys are ugly, or like whatever, everyone would be like, oh my God.
Blowing up.
It's the same thing.
I think in Justin's defense,
Don't defend Justin. Don't do that.
In the first episode when he was paddling on the water bikes, I found it to be more of like a joke. I didn't really take it too seriously because it's like, I would have been like, oh my God, even the strong men are struggling at this. You know, it's just one of those things like, it was more of like that friendly competition. You
And
don't?
also, obviously Tanner and Josh are more athletic than Justin. No offense, Justin. But why would they help them out on the first leg when it's a physical...
Well, right. No one should help anyone ever. But I just thought like the comment just let me know like how he felt. And I didn't think it was okay because like I said, I think if it was said the opposite way to someone else, everyone would have freaked out and it wouldn't have been okay. Like, just because these boys are athletic and good looking, like anyone can say whatever they want about them. No.
Well, since we still are on the topic of Justin, he did tweet me back about the tea that he drank in the tea store. I tweeted to him and I said, what was in the cup that you drank from? We're dying to know. He said the tea. And then I said, okay, well, did you just go up to him and take a sip or were you offered it? He goes, well, he kept offering me for 5 minutes straight.
Oh my God, some guy was trying to roofie him.
Yeah, that's like a neon sign. Like, okay, why are you offering me this tea so bad?
Probably the guy just wanted
hilarious.
like his 2 seconds of fame to be on TV.
On TV, yeah.
Okay, let's go back to the matter
Just
at
to
hand.
say, like, oh, some guy from Amazing Race drank out of
Right.
my cup.
Well, here we are talking about it. So
Yeah,
you're
it
welcome,
worked.
random tea guy.
All right, back to Team Texas versus the Green Team. So you're obviously on Team Texas.
Totally.
These are two of your
I
teams,
know these
Jess.
are two of my teams. I don't want them arguing.
If you
I can't
defend
pick a
Justin,
side.
you have to give me the Texas
No
boys in
way.
fantasy.
Let me look at it from a neutral standpoint really quick. Let me break it down from a neutral standpoint. Justin, I think in the beginning was more playful competition. More like that little like locker room jokes with the jocks, whatever. Going into this episode with Tanner and Josh, they obviously are letting Justin get the best of them, which I find interesting because I really haven't seen much from Justin for them to get so heated over, like, other than this guy's annoying the crap out of me.
Right.
I don't think that's really fair. As viewers, I agree with Tanner and Josh because Justin can be rather obnoxious.
And nosy.
But if you put yourself in his shoes from a super fan standpoint, I think he's just a little excited to be running The Amazing Race.
Yeah.
And again, with editors, they're showing us all of these annoying sides of Justin just to get a story.
Like they want
and a
him to be
rise.
annoying.
Yeah.
Yes. So I don't think he's annoying 24/7. But yes, what we are seeing, yes, he's annoying. I'll be the first one to say that. But going back to what Tanner and Josh said in the very beginning in one of their interviews, they're not there to bully anyone. They're not there to, they want to make friends. They want to be well liked from everyone. But they're already letting Justin get on their nerves. I just don't feel like Tanner and Josh have really given Justin a fair shot, a fair chance. I haven't seen them going out of their way to actually form a relationship with his team because they're already annoyed.
Right.
So.
And it's also funny because Justin and Diana started off this whole episode saying, we don't really know any of the teams. We want to make friends. And then now there's this tension. So, I don't know. I feel like Justin's just a little overexcited and the Texans are just a little annoyed.
Or their ego is going down because
Yeah.
they're letting a team beat them and they're not happy.
Well, they don't
Exactly.
need anybody now either. They
Yeah.
don't have to be friends with anybody. Not only are they one of the strongest teams, they have the Express Pass now.
Yeah.
So the way they're looking at it, okay, we don't have to go kissing everybody's ass and make friends. Like, we're going to be fine.
Right. Very
I was
true.
trying to, my Wi-Fi went out, but I was trying to ask everyone who was watching, I said, what do you guys think? Are you Team Texas or the green team? So when I get the chat back up, I'll figure out what the verdict is
Another
on
thing
that.
too is I hope that Justin doesn't get on more teams' nerves
Then it will be an issue.
because
yeah.
it'll be an issue, and then everyone will want to U-turn Justin.
Totally. That's
Yes.
going to happen. People are going to U-turn him anyway. I can see
Well,
it.
I think that's going to be the build-up that's going to happen. I think that's why we're seeing this
Yeah.
tension early on, because eventually the Express Pass is going to come into play, and the U-turns are going to come into play, so I can see that being an issue.
Yeah.
That's why the tension is rising, because it's going to be who's going to U-turn the other first.
Right.
So hopefully he doesn't rub people the wrong way, because like you said, it's
Yeah.
just going to give other people ammunition.
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of people, hold on, I'm catching up on this chat now that I finally have it loaded.
Mine's still not load.
I know, my internet.
Everyone's definitely opinionated on the green team versus Team Texas. Oh.
Okay, read them out.
Everyone says that Justin's kind of annoying, but they're on the green team side in this situation. They don't feel like Tanner and Josh are giving them a fair chance. And then Joseph Boza says, who's one of our faithful viewers, Tanner and Josh think that their shit don't stink because of the new twist with the pass. So I think that I think a little of it is pride and ego kind of getting in their way. Because I really just don't see them giving a fair chance to
Yeah.
Justin.
I don't think you should have to give a fair chance to anyone. I think you should just decide who it is you like and who you don't like in the beginning, and you stick with it. I'm not mad at them. I think it's okay.
Yeah.
That's just me.
That's just
I like both teams, though, for the record.
I do too. They're both on my fantasy team, so hopefully that they work their shit out.
No comment.
Scarpan goes, oh gosh, Justin's going to cry when he gets U-turned.
But you know what I
Yeah.
think might happen? I mean, they've been kind of like in the front of the pack. I think they're going to get to the U-turn board first, and he's going to make it so much worse for himself because they're going to U-turn Texas, and then they're going to have it out for them for the whole rest of the
Yeah.
race.
That could happen. That would not be good.
All right, it's even now.
Tension.
Team Texas and the green team. Just so you know, you have people on your side, both of you. We'll see how, moving forward, how that may or may not change.
I give up.
So, running to the pit stop, we have in first place Justin and Diana.
I cannot believe that. They went from last,
Worst to first.
worst to first.
Yeah. They got first place this leg. So, kudos to them for finally getting it together and not being a little too, like, eager
Yeah.
and, like, crazy.
Yeah.
Second place, we have Tanner and Josh, but this was fun to watch because it was
Team Alabama.
It was a foot race to the mat between the Team Texas, Team Alabama, and the paparazzis, all coming from different angles from where the taxi dropped them off.
But Team Alabama was like literally first.
I really was hoping that they were going to beat Tanner and Josh. I was like, this is amazing.
No, and then Tanner and Josh just start like running, and Team Alabama didn't even try to like run a little bit faster. They were just like, oh, okay.
Well, you know what? I
we're
wonder
not
if
last.
Team Alabama knew they were second. And that's
They probably
why.
knew that they weren't. Yeah.
They knew they weren't in first, so they were like, why would we run? Whereas Tanner and Josh like didn't know, because sometimes like you just don't know. I mean, maybe, you know, you saw the green team leave the roadblock ahead of you, but you don't see them anywhere along the way, you know, and you have no idea where you are. That happened to us once too. I mean, like crazy foot race for second, you know, and we
Yeah.
didn't know
Sure.
that. We thought we were getting eliminated. So I think maybe the Team Alabama maybe saw the green team like getting out of their cab ahead of them or something, and they
so
knew. And then all of a sudden, Tanner and Josh kind of came late behind everybody, didn't see anything, and we're just running like, oh my God, you know, we might as well run just in case.
Right. My competitiveness, I would be like, you guys are not getting in second
Yeah, I would've
spot.
ran anyway.
Yeah. But I love that Team Alabama, they're just so easygoing. They're so like,
Yeah, they're
you know,
like, no big
happy.
deal.
No big deal.
Well, while they are doing this foot race, we see Tanner start limping. And I was like, what the hell? Like, did I miss something? Like,
Yeah.
why is he limping all of a sudden?
Really pulled a hammy.
Wow.
He did.
Do you think, Marie, moving forward in the race, this is obviously going to raise some sort of issue for them?
Totally.
Do you think they'll...
Well, I mean, if that's really what happened, like first of all, when he immediately said, I pulled my hamstring, like, you don't know that you pulled your hamstring unless you've done this before. Like, he, I think, probably had a previous injury like this and knew right away when it happened, like, oh my God, it's my hamstring
Ow.
again, whatever. So, I mean, if that's really what happened, it's going to be a huge issue. He's not going to be able to really run anymore. But, maybe it's just like a tiny little pull. It's not a big deal, and he's relaxed and he's going to be fine. But it kind of like takes their crazy athleticism like right off the table.
Did he do it while he was dancing or running?
Running. Because it was like he was running full force, and all of a sudden it was like,
ouch.
It was awkward doing that right now.
Well, you know what? That's what happens. You go from sitting in a cab for who knows how long to just getting out and running full speed all the time. And that's kind of a lot of how like all these injuries happen. Even if it's on a plane, you sit on a plane for 12 hours and then you get off and you sprint, like you have to stretch.
You have to stretch. You
like
heard
the
it here
bunnies.
from
Shout out to
an
the
amazing
bunnies.
racer. In third place, James and Denise Earl. Fourth place, Logan and Chris. Fifth place, Cindy and Rick. Sixth place, Tiffany and Krista. Seventh place,
seventh place, Tiffany and Krista.
6, 7, 8, 9. Yes.
Eighth, Kelsey and Joey. 9, Jasmine, Danielle.
Wait, no, because there's 10 teams left.
Yeah, that's right. And then 10th was Ernest and Jen.
Yeah.
No, 10th was Alex and Adam.
No, 11.
11.
They started with 12 teams.
No way. Because 9 people did the Cartonero's detour, and 1 person did the Flatero.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Oh, yeah, you are right.
I just didn't put the numbers, so I'm so confused.
Yeah, okay, so first was
Justin
Justin
and
Diana. Second, Josh and Tanner. Third, Denise and James. Fourth, Logan and Chris. Fifth, Cindy and Rick.
Because we
sixth,
have
Tiffany and
fake team.
Krista. I have a fake team up here.
Who was it? Tiffany and Rick at 5th. Whoops.
And then 7th, Kelsey and Joey. 8th, Jasmine, Danielle. 9th, Ernest and Jen.
And then eliminated
Alex
and
and
Adam.
Adam.
I was really bummed to see Alex and Adam go because I know that they really wanted to prove that they had it in them. And I think they had everything in them to do well. It was just a bad case of bad luck.
Yeah.
Sorry, Alex and Adam.
I feel like we didn't talk enough about the cheerleaders today.
Oh yeah.
Oh wait.
Well, I was gonna talk about our fantasy team and do a recap.
Well, they did so well with the dancing. I just want to give them a little shout out.
I love the cheerleaders.
Yeah.
And also, was it the track stars? The girl didn't even put her shoes on. She was like,
Oh.
Did you hear her comment too when she was like,
"It's $1 million. I'll buy you new feet."
I was like, oh girl, she's in it to win it for sure.
So good. Yes. Shout out to the cheerleaders who are on my team. Sorry, Marie. No, but I really love their enthusiasm because in the first episode we saw them have a lot of struggles and they were just doubting themselves kind of just because they were in the back of the pack. Now in this episode they went from 10th place to 6th place, so they started at the bottom and they're working their way up to the top.
Yeah.
So I can only see them getting better and better. So I'm excited to see them work their way to the top because I do think they have a first place finish in them. If not all these legs, the final leg.
Mm-hmm. Oh gosh. No way.
All right, so let's do a little recap of our fantasy teams.
All right.
Let's talk about what happened with Marie.
Listen.
Yeah, this is not
I didn't
fair.
break any of the rules.
I'm a little confused because I log on to Fantasizer this morning to update all the points. Sorry that was delayed for everyone else who's playing along.
I think the real issue is that you're the one tallying the points.
Well, I was doing the points, which is really stressful with confessionals.
I think someone else should be doing the points. You gave people 2 points for like existing.
No, that was what the stats say. I can't go against the stats. But with the points, last week we talked about trading.
Right.
Jessica brought to the table, well, can I trade one of my teams? Because we predicted someone. We said Kelsey and Joey were going to go home.
Yeah.
So you were like, can I trade if they get eliminated? And Marie flat out
said no.
No, it should be
because
like.
Because it can't be after the elimination. If it's before, it's fair game.
Then it has to be like days before,
no,
right?
No, this is like the taking the backpacks out of the cab situation.
No
it's
way.
Very fine.
My question is,
here.
why did you trade?
I traded before there was an elimination, before anyone got to the mat, before anyone got eliminated, because I saw that the boys were doing terrible in the beginning of the episode, and I traded.
You can't trade during the episode.
Yeah.
Yes, you can.
No, you cannot.
Here's my argument.
It's before the elimination.
No, here's my argument.
Listen, you should make the rules more clear then, because I follow the rules.
I did some sleuthing. You're right. That's a good point. I did some sleuthing, and I even emailed the administrator of the website
he texted me. He's like, "Excuse me, this happened."
The exact timestamp of when she pressed submit for that trade, and it was like 54 minutes into the episode.
That's when I processed. I did it before in the beginning.
This is not fair.
And then I got the email like an hour and a half later that was like, your trade is processing. So it's not
Something
my
is
fault.
shady here.
The website is slow. Listen, I didn't break any rules. Technically, I didn't cheat.
That's true.
And if you're not cheating, you're not trying, so.
We just didn't have like an extensive like rule breakdown on the trade. So hey.
Plus, I feel like all the other points are just bogus. You can't get +2 for running. Like, it's just
Yes,
not
you
okay.
can.
Because your team got it. I've had it with you two. You know what? I'm kind of glad I'm not going to be here next week.
Oh,
Just kidding.
Ouch. Okay, so for the
Ouch.
fantasy teams, it looks like all of the free agents that no one picked this season are eliminated. So Team TMZ, why even waste time talking about them? And then Alex and Adam, unfortunately. So the free agents, there's no room for trading from this point forward.
Maybe this will come
They're
back to like
locked.
bite me in the
Yes.
end, like the whole karma thing.
Yeah.
Here we go again.
So Marie, let's start with you since you did do the trade. We have Ernest and Jen now on your team. Who is the MVP sticking out to you of your threesome?
It's still my track girls.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You know, they're kind of slow to start and they're like kind of hanging on there in the back. But as the other teams get eliminated, it's going to be more chance for them to shine. They're going to the final 3 and I'm sticking with them. Who else do I have? Cindy and Rick. They're kind of just like middle of the pack team. I think
They're
they're
not
going to hang
doing
around
anything
for a
for
while.
me,
They're not
period.
doing anything. They're not doing anything.
Right.
They're just
So,
there.
Floaters.
Yeah.
They're floaters.
Yeah. And then my newest
Addition.
addition, and Jen, which I think they'll be around for another episode or two, but then I think they're going home. So.
Okay.
But I can't get rid of any more teams unless you guys want to trade.
You better hope there's more dancing involved with that.
All right, Jess, what do you think of your team? Who's the All-Stars right now?
First, I mean, but I have 2 All-Stars on my team. Justin, in it to win it for sure, his passion, and then my sexy boys, Tanner and Josh. They're definitely both. I just hope that the 2 of them don't butt heads and
They're gonna and
Take
your
each other
whole
out.
Team is gonna go down.
no, so they have to stay at the top. And
All right.
then my reporters, yeah, they're kind of floaters too.
Yeah. All right. I obviously love Team Alabama and the cheerleaders, but I think this week the All-Stars for me are the cheerleaders again because they worked their way from 10th to the middle of the pack. So it says a lot about them as a team and their relationship. They're working well together, and I have a lot of faith in them that they're going to just continue to work their way up the ranking ladder. And I still have a lot of hope for Denise and James Earl, and hopefully Team Paparazzi won't crash and burn because at this rate, that's what I'm going to see happening with that team.
Oh gosh.
So yeah, those are our teams.
Should we do predictions?
Let's do predictions.
Oh my god, I don't know. I'm not ready for this.
Dun, dun, dun.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
All right, Marie, since you're not going to be here next week, we'll just start with you.
All right.
What are your predictions?
I'm thinking. See, I don't know if I make like real predictions based on any information, or I just always say that the track girls are going to win because that's what I want. But I think they're going to win. I think they're coming in first next week, and I think I don't want to do it to myself. No, the reporters, they're going home.
No.
Yeah, there's too many of them. Them, Cindy and Rick, the paparazzi, they're all the same.
fillers.
Yeah, they're like filler middle ground teams. Like we can't have 3 of them. One's going home. It's going to be the reporters because they're going to keep reporting. We're not going to like it.
Their broadcast voice.
Yeah. What do you think?
All right, I'm gonna say. Let's see. I'm gonna say Ernest and Jin are going home. Bring it. And I'm gonna say that I think it's going to be tensions going to keep growing between Justin and the Texans, but I think the Texans are now going to get first, and I think you're going to keep like alternating.
Back and forth.
Back and forth.
A lot of tension.
Yeah, so I think the Texans are going to get first this time.
Okay.
Well, I don't know because he's injured.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe. I don't know. Okay, I'm gonna say Justin actually stays in first.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
My prediction is first place is going to be, I'm going to say my team, James, Earl, and Denise. They're in third right now. So I can see them. They're doing pretty well. They're staying in the top half. I'm going to see, actually no, because we saw in the preview they argue.
They
Which
do.
could be their downfall.
Wait, are we like due for like a non-elimination yet?
No, maybe 2 weeks from now.
You think I'd know?
I'm going to say first place is going to be
Justin.
Team Texas. Actually, no, because of the hamstring. This
Yeah.
is tough.
Yeah,
this
but the
is
hamstring's
really
not going to be
tough.
an issue unless there's something super physical going on, which like
And I guess Josh can always do the roadblock.
Okay, I'm going to say first place is going to be Justin and Diana again.
Yes.
I'm going to say Justin and Diana are going to
Come on,
first.
Justin, don't let me down.
Last place, I'm going to say Ernest and Jen.
Okay, guys, really?
Well, the only reason why I say that is because they're kind of pushing the sob story a little too much, and it's
Like, we can't hear about it another week.
Right. So I think that's going to be that's editors showing us, like, this is all we get from Ernest and Jen. That's all they bring to the table, and then bam.
Yeah.
I feel like I should maybe change my mind then. Because what did I just said? The reporters are going to go home, but like we literally haven't seen them at all yet.
so
So
that
that
means
means they're
be
going to
there for a
stick
little bit
around
longer.
for a while. Oh my God, Ernest and Jen, no,
gonna
but
say
you're
Ernest
totally
and
going
Jen.
home.
And as far as everyone on the live chat right now, it seems like we have quite a few who are Team Jess. Mary Duda444 says, I'm sorry, Jess. I don't like any of your teams.
Yes.
The most likable ones are on Team James. So I'm Team James. It's half and half. No one is Team
How come
Marie.
nobody likes me anymore? I had all the teams last week. Oh my God.
As far as points, though, for everyone to know, Jess is in first place, Marie is in second, and I'm in third. So whoever's on my team, thank you for having faith in me and my team. But that kind of wraps up that episode 2. Great show, guys. That was a lot of fun.
Awesome. We'll see you guys all next week.
Yes,
Except
Marie,
for me.
Where can they find you on social
They
media?
can find me on
meantime?
all social media platforms at Reepsicle.
And you can find me at DressJessXO.
You can find me on Twitter at James Wallington, on Instagram at James.Wallington, and on YouTube, Where's Wallington? It's my travel vlog with all my adventures that I went on this past summer. And last but not least, I'm going to plug this as well. If you love reality television, I participated in a new web series called Big Sister. It's a spin-off of, well, more of a spoof of Big Brother. And you can follow the episodes at Big Sister TV on Twitter.
Awesome.
Yeah, we'll see you guys next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.